Nigeria is a very great country. However, Nigeria faces some challenges now, but this live stream is to remind you and the world that Nigeria is a land that you should believe in, you should trust, you should do whatever you can to assist her in this a time of great challenges. Check the history of Nigeria. We started very well and we're growing very even after independence. But somehow, just like you watch and see in films, some moles, some impostors come in. Just like cancerous cells, mutation took place. Then we have some dangerous cells that came up and they tried to destroy what is within the land. And what you do if you don't want the damage is as soon as you detect it, do surgical extraction. And we are believing God with divine intervention, with divine guidance that that will be done. So, the major challenge of Nigeria now can be just categorized into maybe two or three blocks. And the major one is the issue of leadership. The corrupt, callous, lack of focus leadership that don't think about tomorrow. They behave as if what is in their head is not what is called brain. It's jelly matter that is fogged with just luxury, wickedness, lack of empathy, and nation building. They camouflage and they came in. Just like the slave song I learned when I was in primary school decades back. It says, "Oh gracious God, come and see what the white men did. When they first came here, they gave us looking glasses. And they told her mommy many fine things, and they gave her daddy many fanciful things." What did they give them? They gave them mirrors, they gave them alcohol, they gave them things. They deceived them, they deluded them, they put them in the land of illusion, and they made them to fight one another, to capture each other as slaves, to invade neighboring states and capture them as slaves and bring them as slaves and sold them to this slave company. That's what happened. And that's what these people are doing. They come campaigning, bringing bread, loaves of bread, repackaged bags of rice, and some money. And they gave them some Ankara clothes, textile materials. And they said, vote for us. When you vote for us, we shall do that. But they never did. They reneged on their promises. And this has led to the condition in which we are. And those evil ones, those people in leadership, the evil politicians, according to information, according to reports which are available in the social media worldwide now, that some of the politicians years back brought in foreign mercenaries from neighboring countries to come and invade the land, to come and cause disruption, to come and cause disaffection, so that effective elections will not take place. And they did that. And those people they call insurgents brought in are the one now ravaging the land. That's why I said the problem of the land. So the major problem now we have is the evil, corrupt politicians and the insurgents, which bring in the insecurity. Remove those two, Nigeria is good to go. It's those politicians that destroy the refineries, that supply the refined petroleum products. Even Nigeria had petrochemical industry, refinery that produce petrochemicals, that produce feedstocks, raw materials for the manufacturing industry. We even have fertilizer called LMA fertilizing company. We produce some of the raw material. They also produce, we produce our own fertilizer that we need. So agriculture had no problem. We had factories, industries that were assembling tractors for the fact. Then we have car assembly plants, truck assembly plants in Nigeria there. So we started well, but when these politicians came in, they desecrated everything. They bastardized the refineries. Four refineries located, Sariaga located in different parts of the country. One in Kaduna, that's in the northern part of Nigeria. Then we have two in the south, then another one in the mid of south. They bastardized all of them. Made sure they didn't work for years. Then we have to be importing. Then, it is the gas from the refinery, from the petroleum, that was feeding the electrical industry. We have gas turbine. So the gas, so the electricity, so when the energy supply was down, everything was down. So that's the beginning of our problem. So this has led to what we are experiencing now, and some of the youths that didn't have their levels being guided very well now develop some maladaptive behaviors, and they join in the ones that we now call 419 fraudulent stars that are now spoiling the name of the country all over the world. But I would like you to know that Nigeria is still a very blessed country. Nigeria is not merely a nation facing challenges. Nigeria is a nation of immense possibilities. As we stand right now, go and check it. All those things are still there. So while difficulties exist, which we are not denying, like the ostrich, they do not define our country's true identity and true status. So your perception counts. So a positive perception of Nigeria should be built on our strengths, on our resilience, and future potential. Look keenly beyond the negativities, and you see resilient Nigerians, intelligent Nigerians, focused Nigerians, entrepreneurial Nigerians doing fine all over the world. Nigeria is richly endowed with vast agricultural land. More than 50% is still yet to be cultivated. So we have a challenge in that land where these bandits are now disturbing the farmlands and destroying the farmlands and attacking the farmers. So that's what part of what's affecting the high cost of food materials in the country. We have abundant mineral resources and energy resources. What about the abundant sunshine in the sky? There is no day we don't have sunshine in Nigeria. No day. Even the weather dry season or Harmattan season or rainy season, there is no day we don't have, really. So that's how blessed the nation is. So solar energy should just be something that we can cherish. Then we have the seashore. Then we have diverse cultures, languages, and traditions, which make it to be very rich. Then we have strategic location, our location in Africa. So that abundant sea give us opportunity for seaports. Then we have the one of the largest nations of the world, the sixth most populous nation in the world. And we are not just filled with people, we are filled with highly intelligent, resilient people. So Nigeria's exceptional human capital. So respect Nigeria. Whatever you may be seeing or hearing about Nigeria, at the core of the matter, Nigeria should be and Nigerians should be respected. You may have some black legs in your country, you may have some black legs floating around, but be sure that the average Nigerian is good and should be respected. In technology and innovation, you find Nigerians there. Go and check the record. Just Google it. Just check Nigerians that are very good at excelling technology and innovation and creativity. Google will give it to you. In medicine and healthcare, even in that place we excel. Go and check the doctors in the UK. Go and check the doctors in many countries in Europe. Go and check most of the doctors in the US and in Canada. And the nurses, they are Nigerians. More than 20%, if not much more, are Nigerians working and performing excellently well. In education and research, you find Nigerians there all over the world. In entrepreneurship and business, we have Nigerians there. In sports, entertainment, and the creative industry, you have Nigeria. That's why they say Nollywood. That is the film industry in Nigeria is second or third largest in the whole world after Hollywood. Even is after that we say we have Bollywood, then Nollywood. And it's still growing very fast. So many young Nigerians are leading in global conversations and building solutions that impact millions all over the world. So Nigeria is a land of resilient people. Despite the economic and social challenges that we have, Nigerians remain very industrious. Just visit Nigeria. One of my videos, I will visit some of our marketplaces, industrial places, then do the video, and then you see them at work. It's as if when you see the bees at the honeycomb, each of them playing their part. And the termites, the way they do, we have division of labor, and everyone is playing his own part diligently with great focus, with so much energy. That's why some people crack jokes sometimes go, Nigerians are the most jovial people in the whole world, because we are so resilient, we are so much adaptive, because we believe that as long as the sun shines, as long as the Lord lives, tomorrow will be better than yesterday and today. So we have that faith and we work at it. As long as there is breath in my nostril and I can still move my body, I can still achieve something worthwhile. So Nigerians are creative. We got that from our forefathers. You can see, go and check the artifact, the history of Nigeria before the slave trade and before the colonial rule. And that's part of what the British saw in Nigeria, and they started to do all the things they did. That has become history now. We are very adaptable, like I said. Not adaptable to rubbish, whatever. Some situations are beyond your control, but some are within your. So when you find yourself in a situation, what do? You don't fret, you don't scream, you try to understand the read it, then see what you can do to make the best of you and to get yourself out of it, and to go ahead and achieve yourself. This is Nisinuga Reflections, a channel that is focused on your joy, on your peace, reminding you that you have only one life and it's up to you. You have the obligation to yourself to live it very well. And nobody has a right to turn you to a footmat. So you have to work consciously with that, and to work with stories, and how to avoid stories that touch the heart. So Nigeria is been with, that's what relationship is all about. So there cannot be a good relationship when there's no understanding. So I'm putting this out so that I can get to understand Nigerians better. Very good people. I'm a full-blooded Nigerian. So I know there are some bad ones there, but those ones should not define us. I'm saying this because I just had even this morning, the first one started with South Africa that said Nigerians are the Nigerians are that. And remember, during the time of Nelson Mandela, Nigeria was one of the nations that stood firm and fought with all we have got. Philosophically, psychologically, technically, politically, with every way, for the emancipation of the blacks in South Africa and Southern Africa, because I remember that I was in the University of Ibadan, many South Africans were there. Because of apartheid, the Zimbabweans were there, I think given scholarship by the federal government, taken care of government. When Nigeria was in the front fighting for the... So Nigeria is a nation that cares for fellow Africans. When there were problems in Sierra Leone, in Liberia, Nigeria was there, spearheading the military force, they call it them ECOMOG, that helped to return the nation to sanity and progress. Now, those same South Africans are now coming and saying Nigerians are that. Even those that were legally there, contributing to the land. We say Nigerians are taking over the house. Did they steal your houses? Did they steal your lands? They worked, they made the money, and they use the money to buy the properties. If you talk about them, they say, well, what we can fault is some few that were into selling of drugs and things like that. You identify them. Let them face the wrath of the law. That's why there is law in the land. Then lately now come out of Ghana, saying Nigerians must go, Nigeria must do it. I remember also when Nigeria was good, better than this, when the impostors and the desecrators had not crept in, Nigeria was abode. We opened our doors wide. Nigeria has said that when in West Africa you can enter without visa. We opened our doors wide. We accommodated them. Every profession, both skilled and unskilled, we welcomed them in Nigeria and gave them places to live. We gave them jobs to do. I don't want to mention different jobs they did, from skilled to non-skilled. Into sewing, into cobbling, into education, into teaching, into everywhere you see Ghanaians in Nigeria. But now they're calling us names and shushing us. You know, Yorubas have a proverb that says, Tí ìyá ńlá bá gbé ni ṣánlẹ̀, kékeré á máa gorí ẹ̀. That is when a big problem makes you to fall. Little problem will start to walk over you like worms. But we shall overcome. You can be sure of that. Like James Ngugi said, I like that statement by James Ngugi. He said, weep not my child, weep not my darling. With these kisses, let me dry your tears. The raging clouds will not be long prevalent. They will not long possess the sky. So we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Like the Bible says, those of you that don't like my gods, don't rejoice over me when I fall. Because when I fall, I shall rise again. When I sit in darkness, God Almighty will be a light unto me. Don't rejoice over me. Don't laugh at me. And also learned that Togo is joining the gang to point finger at Nigeria and Nigerians, choosing us is what our leadership has brought on us, but we shall overcome. So this is just to let you know that Nigerians are hopeful, we are resourceful. So don't laugh at us, don't mock us, respect us. Remember, there is always a tomorrow. There's always a tomorrow. So right now, I have to thank some youths in Nigeria that are shouting on social media. They have their own enterprises, their own businesses they are doing to add value to Nigeria. They employ fellow youths. But at the same time, they still showcase themselves on social media crying for justice, saying that 27 elections coming, everybody's vote must count. Rigging must not be allowed. Kidnapping must stop. Insurgency must stop. We arise. That's why I like that our anthem. Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith, that labor of our heroes shall never be in vain. And that's why the desecrators, when they came, they said they didn't like that national anthem again. They now brought the old one. You can see it should be arise, O compatriot. And we are now rising. And Nigeria will rise again. Our stories will change for the better. So Nigeria remains still, in spite of all this, giant of Africa. Nigeria continues to play a major role in African diplomacy, isn't it? In spite of our challenges, in spite of the pains, in spite of our bleeding, we still engage ourselves in regional peacemaking, isn't it? In spite of our own each problem at home. We still engage in trade and commerce all over the world, in spite of our challenges. We still have cultural influence all over the world, isn't it? In spite of our challenges. We still impact on economic development all over the world, isn't it? So the voice of Nigeria still carries significant input, weight within Africa and beyond. So Nigeria's future is greater than its present challenges. Every great nation has passed through some form of challenge or the other, difficulty. Challenges are temporary, but national potential endures, and we shall overcome. So Nigeria's youth population is outstanding. It's about more than 60% of the population of the nation is made up of youths and teens. We have great entrepreneurial spirit. The abundant natural resources, like I said earlier, and our technology growth is on the increase, especially this ICT. And our democratic institutions is still standing in spite of the desecrators in the land. All this provide good foundation for a bright future. Remember, this is Nisinuga Reflections. Give thumbs up, subscribe to my if you have not subscribed. We continue to talk about things that are germane to your well-being. Whatever your country, you find Nigerians there. And I tell you, there may be some bad ones, but most of them are the ones that you can rely on, you can do business with. So, what should Nigeria now see? So instead of seeing only the problems, that's a perception counts. That's why the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so he is. Like Zig Ziglar said, if you believe you can't, you can't. If you believe you are dead, even though you may be living and breathing. But if you believe in yourself that, oh, I can't make it, I'm dead, I am finished, then you are finished, then you are dead. You are just a walking corpse. So what kind of faith do you have in yourself? What kind of belief do you have in your, what kind of belief do you have in your country? There is a place in the Bible that says, a tree, if it's cut, still has hope. As long as it receives dew from heaven, it will sprout again. And even the worst scenario, that story we have in Ezekiel, is a possibility because we live in a world where the physical is ruled by the spiritual. Say, dry bones shall rise again, dry bones shall rise again. God Jehovah is able to heal us. He's able to live, he's able to deliver us. Even while Nigeria is still standing, is by God's grace. In spite of all the horrible things that the creators have done, it's still Nigeria by God's grace, and we shall overcome. So instead of seeing only problems, we should also see opportunities to take advantage of, to build upon. We should see areas that need improvement. We should see reasons for hope instead of reasons for despair. That is why some of the youths, led by a man called Martin Ose, very dark man, after talking on social media, he has been an advocate for justice in the land and for compassion for operating with human heart. About a month and a day or 2 days ago, some children and their teachers were carted away from their schools in Oyo State, Ogbomoso, Oyo State, in southwest Nigeria. Up till now, the children are yet to be recovered by the security agencies. It had happened in years back with Chibok, when the Chibok girls were carted away into the bush. Some of them are still there as we speak. So that same thing will not repeat itself. He had to leave from Abuja with some office followers, with some of his friends, with some of people with similar thoughts, similar mindset. The story of Nigeria cannot continue like this. These children, say as young as 2 years old. Can you imagine? So he went there. He requested for audience, and the governor came and gave the order and said they will do something substantial to make sure they recover these children and their teachers. So that is Nigeria, a land for improvement. So what can you do? What role can you play in the healing of the land to stop this injustice, to stop this slide? That is what you should think about. Don't join those complaining. See, what can you do? Part of what I can do is what I'm doing now. So we have examples of success abound. Examples of success abound in the land, and possibility for national renewal. So Nigeria is not a failed nation. Nigeria is a nation in progress. Nigeria is blessed, gifted, resilient, and full of promise. Nigeria's greatest days are ahead, and they can still be achieved. Every responsible citizen, and I believe you are one, has a role to play in rebuilding Nigeria that we desire and in healing our wounds. If you and I uphold integrity, diligence, patriotism, unity, and faith, instead of speaking about ethnic bigotry, Nigeria can become stronger, safer, and more prosperous nation for future generations. So do not merely complain about Nigeria. Contribute to Nigeria. Build integrity. you seek in Nigeria. Shine your own light for others to see. Don't say, if I cannot beat them, join them. It was so disheartening that when these bandits came on TikTok, as I learned, I didn't see it because it's not a goose, I didn't even want to say it. Came on TikTok and was sharing money, say, if you need money, send your account details. And I learned that some people were sending their account details to these bandits, kidnappers, sharing blood money. You can see the sickening aspect. But go and check the comments from what I learned. Many people found it disgusting, horribly disgusting, nauseating. So be the integrity, be the change you look for in Nigeria. Seek and carry out the excellence you desire. Work to the best of your ability. The solution you expect, let it start from you. Nations are transformed when ordinary citizens like you and I decide to do extraordinary things consistently, like that one being done by very dark man. He took the bull by the horn. He knew it was a big risk. In Nigeria, we have accidental discharge. The process that was done on June 12, I learned that tear gas was shot directly at Omowole Sowore, and he almost collapsed. He fell anyway due to the impact and the effect. So many Nigerians youths have died from accidental discharge of bullets from the secure fire, especially from the police. I remember many years back, Dele Udo, an athlete of Nigeria, based in US, just came to Nigeria, maybe for a program or just came on holiday. It was on Western Avenue that he died of accident. Maybe police tried to stop the car, whatever. I don't remember the story, but you can check how Dele Udo died on Western Avenue in Nigeria some years back, more than 2 decades ago. I think it was in the maybe late 80s or early 90s. So do not complain, but there, see what you can do. Nigeria is worth believing in. Nigeria is worth building. Nigeria is worth praying for. So see what you can to add to the value of Nigeria. Thank you for reflecting with me, and God bless you.